Edition of Sunday Edition. I am Tariro Manamiki with Peaceway Dominica at the Sign Language Desk.
Indeed, it is a beautiful evening. We're live at the Hill in Pocketsville Highlands, Harare, the capital city. I am Leanne Bernard, and these are our leading stories tonight.
President Emmerson Mnangagwa commends the role of the church in nation building.
This came out when he officially commissioned the Harvest House International Conference Center in Bulawayo this Sunday.
And year-end Stockville sharing, popularly known as Mukando, under spotlight in our This and That feature.
Now, a team of young innovators from Bulawayo developed a self-irrigating robot named Yarrow.
Find out more about this invention in our Science and Technology feature.
And buzzing in a sport later on, Zimbabwe Football Association ZIFA affiliate Fostel Zimbabwe nominates new leadership.
And now we give you the news in detail. President Emmerson Mnangagwa says the government cherishes the role of the church in nation building. He said this as he officially commissioned the Harvest House International Conference Center in Bulawayo this Sunday. Siviso Swanda has the report.
The Harvest House Church in Bulawayo has invested into a mega structure that houses a church, a 10,000-seater conference facility, amongst others, as part of its contribution to the growth of Bulawayo. Commissioning the facility this Sunday, President Emmerson Mnangagwa said this investment confirms Bulawayo as a premier destination.
The collective efforts of all congregants and stakeholders alike live up to our national development philosophy that says, ilizwe lakiwa libuswe likulekelwe nabanikazi balo. This structure is one of the largest of its kind in our country. I am therefore pleased to learn that in addition to spiritual nourishment, which is the reason for its existence, this building will also provide an outreach to the community. It offers other facilities such as gymnasium, restaurants, health and wellness center, a mini mall, recording studios, seminar halls, and a music school. Congratulations again. As such, this infrastructure will aid in the ongoing quest by my administration to grow Bulawayo into a premier destination for meetings, exhibitions, conferences, and events. 10,000-seater. 10,000-seater Harvest International Conference Center.
The president went on to challenge the church to spread its wings and leave no one and no place
as a whole for pressing on towards the goal that has seen you realize in this success. You did not grow weary in doing good and did not give up. Now you are reaping a great harvest. I'm sure. In line with Vision 2030, I challenge you to plant many more churches in rural areas. No place and no one should be left behind. The gospel should be preached to all our people wherever they are, as it was in the early church. My fellow congregants, ladies and gentlemen, my government has always cherished the role of the church in national building, as the church is a key partner with multi-dimensional responsibilities.
The head of state further implored the church to work with government in fighting the drug and substance abuse, especially amongst the youths.
Going forward, I exhort you to scale up initiatives not only to inculcate godly values and work ethics, but also spur production and productivity among your congregants towards economic prosperity as well as higher quality of life in our motherland. In doing so, the church is assured of strong synergies with my government and my administration. As a predominantly Christian nation, Zimbabwe, we count on the churches to help strengthen upright moral living and a God-fearing society. Kana muri yeZimbabwe ikatya Mwari, isu tinotonga. Tigotonga. Saka ndokukurudzirai kuti mutye Mwari hama dzangu.
The history of the Harvest House International Church dates back to 1995 with just 8 attendees, but has grown to become a mega institution with congregates and branches in a number of countries that include Ghana, United Kingdom, United Arab Emirates, Europe and Australia. Sifiso Sibanda, ZBC News, Bulawayo.
Meanwhile, the city of Bulawayo has received a remarkable addition to its skyline with the inauguration of the Harvest House International Conference Center, which is said to become a premier destination for religious gatherings. That report next.
The commissioning ceremony was a celebration of faith and community attended by government officials, dignitaries, men of cloth and members of the public. The 10,000-seater is one of the largest of its kind in Zimbabwe, boasting an impressive array of integrated services beyond its primary religious function, including a restaurant, pharmacy, music recording studios, health facilities and a mini mall. The founder and presiding bishop of the church, Bishop Colin Nyati, shared the inspiring story behind the project, highlighting the unwavering faith and dedication of the congregation that made the stream a reality.
This journey started 26 years ago when God blessed in our hearts to build a house of worship that would seat 10,000 people. This began with the coined vision of 10,000. We began to run with this vision for 10,000. For us as a ministry, this is a significant milestone, and we hope to replicate this in different parts of our nation. There are 8 streams of income around this building that will empower many young people, young and elderly as well, so that we contribute to the growth of the national economy.
Prominent religious leaders lauded the government's commitment to upholding freedom of worship in Zimbabwe.
To our national leaders, we thank you for helping our nation guarantee such freedoms. And we continue to implore you, Your Excellence, to guarantee us those freedoms. The freedoms to worship, the freedom to express our capabilities and excellence, that the church is not just about worshiping, the excellence of doing what we have done to the glory of our God.
But it would be remiss of us to only celebrate the building, because the church is not the building, the church is the people. It's people that build buildings. Without a vision, people perish. But without people, the vision perishes.
The construction of the state-of-the-art facility has not only served the spiritual needs of the congregation, but also contributed significantly to the city's social landscape.
The construction of this structure has transformed the landscape of Selbornbroek and has even encouraged the sprouting of other constructions and development around the area.
The Harvest House International Conference Center will significantly contribute to the growth of religious tourism and the meetings, incentives, conferences and exhibitions MICE tourism cluster, thereby injecting much-needed revenue into the city's economy and contributing to its gross domestic product. The commissioning of the center underscored the strong relationship between government and the church that is characterized by mutual support in social and development initiatives. Yolanda Moy, ZBC News, Bulawayo.
Former Vice President of Zimbabwe, Comrade Phelekezela Mpoko, has been laid to rest at his home in Douglasdale, Bulawayo. Our reporter, Grace Sibanda, has the report.
The burial of national hero, former Vice President Phelekezela Mpoko, was a celebration of a life well lived and dedicated to servitude of the people of Zimbabwe. Speaking on behalf of the family, Mr. Ndabezinhle Mpoko reiterated how his family is saddened by this loss, citing how his memory will forever be etched in their hearts.
It is a very great loss to the Mpoko family, despite the fact that he had other national commitments. He still had time to talk to his children. They are grateful to the fact that they have cherished memories that they can look back to. They were saying that I should express that they will always love him and cherish his memory.
Having served in the war with Comrade Mpoko, Brigadier General retired Comrade Abel Mazinyane recalled memories shared with his late commander during the war and post-independence.
Kwathiwa ngcono siyehlasela kwathiwa ukudla nxa njwana lingekho liyachayona lechama inkamba zamaphuthukezi lithole khona ukudla sahamba safika inkamba yamaphuthukezi sayithola sathola ukuthi inkambi njengangaye emva kwentaba le sathi njwana kuyikuthi ukudla ebusuku sizahayi lapha sizagaqa sizongena la sathi siyabuya ebusuku sathola ukuthi amaphuthukezi afaka inkala kade ayesechilight ukuthi vela kungeneki laba nompoko sasilabantu beradio belokhu bebuza ukuthi kade alikahlasela amaphuthukezi sithi
Honorable Richard Moyo comforted the family and mourners, appreciating the contribution of the late national hero, citing how Comrade Mpoko lives behind a legacy of national unity, peace and development.
I stand before you to pay tribute to a man who dedicated his life to the service of our motherland, Zimbabwe. Phelekezela Mpoko's legacy is built on his unwavering commitment to national healing, peace, and reconciliation. He tirelessly worked towards a united Zimbabwe, fostering dialogue and understanding within our differences. His selfless dedication to our country's liberation struggle and his tireless efforts to promote development will never be forgotten.
Thousands of mourners from around the country and beyond have bade final farewell to the liberation stalwart whose contribution to the pre- and post-independence eras of Zimbabwe's history will never be erased. Grace Sibanda, ZBC News, Bulawayo.
Now, member states of the Southern African Development Community SADC are actively addressing challenges posed by increasing incidences and intensity of droughts.
The just ended 16th Conference of the Parties to the United Nations Convention to Combat Desertification in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, hosted a high-level event to mobilize political support and scale up investments for the African Great Green Wall Initiative. Organized in collaboration with the African Union Commission and the African Development Bank, the event celebrated progress and outlined strategies to enhance land restoration, drought resilience, and sustainable development across Africa. Addressing delegates, Pan-African Parliament President Chief Fortune Charumbira underscored the Great Green Wall's critical role as a cornerstone of national and regional development, highlighting its contributions to fostering stability and security across the continent.
And when we spend money on desertification, when we do the budgets, can we go to the communities themselves to make an input into the budget processes? And nowadays, you can't leave out the youth, you can't leave out the women. The women are a critical component because naturally they are the ones who suffer most when there is food insecurity, when there is no water. It is mainly women. But are we sure that in planning, in policy formulation, in implementation, even in monitoring, are we working with women?
Minister of Environment, Climate and Wildlife, Dr. Stembiso Nyoni, highlighted the widespread impact of desertification.
SADC recognizes that effective land management and sustainable development are integral to economic prosperity, food security, and environmental protection. This commitment is reflected in various protocols related to forestry, shared water courses, and energy, as well as in the regional program aimed at protecting land resources through community development in natural resource management.
The regional bloc has outlined strategies to enhance land restoration, drought resilience and sustainable development across member states while addressing urgent funding gaps to accelerate its implementation. Memory Chamisa, ZBC News.
Tropical Cyclone Chido is expected to affect multiple countries in southern Africa, potentially impacting approximately 2.5 million people across Mozambique, Malawi and the Comoros. The cyclone already has hit Mayotte with extreme wind conditions and is expected to make landfall in northern Mozambique Monday. In the Comoros, the cyclone caused damage to 5 homes with a search operation for 11 missing fishers. Mozambique is preparing for the cyclone's landfall with red alerts issued for Cabo Delgado and Nampula provinces. The cyclone is expected to gradually dissipate near Zimbabwe by December 17th, with heavy rainfall potentially affecting multiple countries in the region, including Angola, Botswana, DRC, Eswatini, Tanzania and South Africa.
Government is on a drive to modernize cotton production, with farmers in Masvingo province being the latest to be registered under the new electronic biometric system for inputs distribution and produce marketing.
750 cotton farmers in Masvingo province have been registered so far under the new electronic biometric data system for the 2024 to 2025 season, as part of government's efforts to curb double dipping and side marketing during the inputs distribution and produce marketing processes. In an interview with this news crew, Chief Executive Officer of Agricultural Marketing Authority, Mr. Clever Isaiah, urged both contracted and self-financing farmers to get registered under the new electronic data system.
The reason why we've introduced this system is to bring about accountability in terms of movement of inputs and ensure that we also manage incidences to do with side marketing. So basically what we are doing is farmers, before they receive the inputs, we capture their full details, we capture their biometrics. Once we've captured that information, the same information will be used on marketing.
Members of the Joint Portfolio Committee on Lands, Agriculture and Resettlement and the Thematic Committee on Peace and Security, led by their chairperson, Honorable Felix Maburute, who were assessing the process of registering cotton farmers under the new electronic system, said government is working round the clock to revamp cotton production.
Varimi vane shungu yokurima donje fanika vari kuno ku Lowveld kuno mvura ishoma donje ndicho chirimwa chinovapa pfunduso, saka tichitaura navo vanoratidza kuti vane chido chaizvo chokurima donje ende vacharirima, asi dambudziko ravo ndiro rokuti havana kubhadharwa mari yavo ya2023, of which Kotiko yacho is also accepting kuti they owe farmers about $5 million yavasina kuvapa zvachose, asi vari kuvimbisa varimi kuti sezvo tavimbisiwa kuti mari yedu tichapiwa ticharima zvakasimba.
Government rolled out the presidential cotton support scheme meant to support farmers with free inputs such as seed, fertilizers and chemicals, in a move meant to revive the sector, which was collapsing due to low prices offered by merchants and challenges related to input shortages. Geima Tambo, ZBC News, Chiredzi.
ZANU-PF party members from Mashonaland East Province have been urged to avoid factionalism and respect the party and its leadership.
Addressing ZANU-PF party members and supporters who gathered for Murewa North constituency Thank You rally held at Chemapango Primary School in Murewa North constituency this Sunday, ZANU-PF chairperson for Mashonaland East Province, Comrade Daniel Garwe, briefed the constituency on the outcome of October ZANU-PF conference held in Bulawayo.
Takauya kuma district katuma ve DCC kuti endai kuvanhu vatipe ma resolutions avonoda kuti tizoendesa kuvakuru kuti anozoenda kuprovince. Murewa nekusanganisira ino ward 16 ino makabuda nema resolution tarisiro dzenyu dzamakati ndoda kuti dzizoenda kuprovince, province yozoendesa kunational, national yozoendesa kuconference. Ma resolutions kana kuti tarisiro edzodzo dzinobata zvinhu zvakawanda. Imwe yanga yakanyanya kukosha yamuri kuda kuti munzwe yamakabura ndimi kuno kuward 16 yaive mamiriro emusangano wedu weZANU-PF. Takatarisana nemaringe nemabasa ari kubatwa navamunangagwa kubvira musi wapinda muhofisi mugore ra 2017 kusvika patasvika pano nhasi uno. Resolution yekuti nemabasa avari kuita atiri kuona tese nemaziso edu, kwete kutaurwa nevanhu avari kubata, dai vangoteedzera zviri muhope dzakabva kuna Mwari, hope dzekuti vision 2030. Tataura resolution taenda nayo kuconference, conference ichibva yabvuma tinogamuchira dzese kusanganisira neresolution yekuti gore ra 2030 vamunangagwa vanenge vachityaira chitima cheZimbabwe.
Mashonaland East has seen several developmental projects undertaken by the Second Republic, and the people are celebrating the initiatives.
Kuno kumaruwa zvinhu zviri kutiitira zvakanaka. Fanira nguva ino yekurima hapana kana asina mbeu.
Fanika sesu madzimai tiri kusumudzirwa mune zvakawanda zvirongwa zvizhinji zvatiri kuona zviri kuitwa nababa. Saka tiri kutenda kuti baba ngavarambe vachienda mberi.
Vanhu hatina kukohwa. Saka chinhu chikuru chatikanyotenda ndechekuona kuti vana vedu zveshuwa vanouya kuchikoro kuno vachibikirwa chikafu vachidya vachifunda zvakanaka vasina nzara.
The Second Republic has undertaken several major projects in the province, including the completion of Mchekerana Dam, construction of Kunji Dam, dualization of Harare Marondra Road, rehabilitation of Wedza Mshandra Pamwe Road. Peter Chivima, ZBC News, Murewa.
The Agriculture Marketing Authority, AMA, has hinted on a local production of industrial hemp seed varieties to advance the yield capacity of the crop and boost output.
Officials from the Ministry of Lands, Agriculture, Fisheries, Water and Rural Development, along with stakeholders within industrial hemp production sector, convened in Bulawayo to explore strategies of boosting production of the crop, which is on demand for medical use. The Agriculture Marketing Authority, AMA, noted for the country to fully benefit from industrial hemp, it is imperative to localize the production of seed varieties.
Industrial hemp is definitely an alternative cash crop. Obviously, the requirements are different from other cash crops in terms of the level of investment. So we are working with other government agencies in terms of exploring ways of bringing the cost of production down. I think one of the factors that we're looking at is localization of production of seed varieties.
The officials told Tatoguhle Farm, one of the farms specializing in the production of the crop in Bulawayo. Director of the Agriculture and Rural Development Advisory Services in the Ministry of Lands, Agriculture, Fisheries, Water and Rural Development, Mr. Leonard Munamat, indicated the crucial role played by the plant in the transformation of the country's agricultural sector.
Industrial hemp and medicinal cannabis are more than just crops. They are a catalyst for transformation. Their versatility allows for their use in textiles, construction, biofuels, and pharmaceuticals industries.
With over 100 people employed at Tatoguhle Farm, farm owner Mike Cole noted the opportunities for locals to venture into the production of the crop.
For Zimbabwe, the cannabis industry, we should be leading it worldwide because of the way our plants grow in this country, our weather, our environment, our soils, our people. I think we should be leading the cannabis industry. It's a good industry on the industrial hemp side, there are a lot of opportunities.
Government legalized cultivation of cannabis for medicinal and industrial purposes in 2010, and this has seen stakeholders come together to promote the growth of the sector. Lisa Masuku, ZBC News, Bulawayo.
Thousands of people in Nyanga North have benefited from free medical outreach missions and first aid training courtesy of a partnership between the government and private players.
Partnerships between government and private players are improving access to medical care in Nyanga North, with free medical outreach missions reaching out to communities far away from health facilities. 92-year-old Gogo Susan Mukonza is among villagers who thronged Emmanuel High School in Nyanga for a free medical outreach mission. She and other beneficiaries are excited about the initiative.
Ndichiuya ndikati Mwari dai manditi ndisvikewo kunana mukoti ndibatsirwewo saka apo ndangonzwa kuti kuuya madhokota ari kubatsira free ndikati Mwari ndiite kuti ndigone kufamba ndisvikewo ndionekwewo ndibatsirwe.
Dambudziko nderekuti tikatarisa kuti gore rino nderenzara ndikarwara ndinogona kutoshaya mari yekuti ndiende ndindorapwa, mhuri inenge ichida chikafu. Saka patanzwa kuti kune chirongwa chekuti tinobatsirwa mahara, tanzwa kufara chaizvo.
Tarapwa zvakanaka kubudikidza neurongwa program yaBaba Mnangagwa kusanganisira nediscovery ambulance yakatsigirwa naHonorable Chido Sanyatwe.
The outreach mission also saw 1,000 youths in Nyanga North undergoing first aid training to be able to respond to recurring disasters within the district.
Tiri kufara nechiitiko chiri kuitika pano sevagari vemuNyanga North nevanotikomberedza. Tinoona ivo honorable vedu vari kuunza health outreach kasiri kekutanga, but tiri kufara kuti ma-outreach acho ari kuwanda.
Tiri kufara tiri kutrena zve-first aid kuruwangwe kuNyanga North. Ndandisimborina tasive kuti kumusha kuno kuti ngawanirwe mukana wakaita seiwowu.
Discovery Ambulances practitioner in charge, Mr. Elliot Chivige, whose organization partnered the Nyanga North legislator to improve access to healthcare, says the program benefiting thousands of people is part of President Mnangagwa's inclusive development drive.
Chirongwa chekutanga free first aid training and certification. Kutaura kudai tine vana vanopfuura 1000 vari muhoo vari kudzidziswa zvirongwa zve-first aid kuti vanhu vanobatsirika sei kana vasangana netsaona nenjodzi kana kuti neurwere.
Muchitarisa kuno tiri kubhodha kuMozambique. Chirongwa ichi takambochiita pamashure, nhasi tiri kuchiita zvakare, ticharamba chichienderera mberi. Vari kurapwa zviri pachena, wopiwa matablets nekuti kure nezvipatara vari kuongororwa nana chiremba vachiudzwa zvinenge zvakundikana vanenge vachita mareferral.
Apart from free medical outreach missions, Manicaland province has recorded increased construction of health facilities that include Munyarari and Jimbe clinics as well as Runyararo health facility among others.
Kolo Toure is a name that embodies African football pride, with a career marked by historic victories, record-breaking achievements and inspirational leadership. In today's Aman African feature, we pay tribute to the Ivorian icon who has inspired generations of footballers and fans alike.
The stadium erupted in a thunderous chant, "Kolo, Kolo, Kolo, our Ivorian hero." From Arsenal to City, the legend has always shined. Fans praised his defensive prowess, leadership in African glory, and his name will always be etched in football history. Born on the 19th of March, 1981 in the Ivory Coast, Kolo Abib Toure would rise to become one of Africa's football's most iconic figures. His remarkable journey, spanning over 2 decades, is a testament to his unwavering dedication, unrelenting passion, and unparalleled success. Toure's football odyssey began at ASEC Mimosa, where he honed his defensive skills before catching the attention of English giants Arsenal in 2002. This marked the beginning of an extraordinary chapter in his career. At Arsenal, Toure formed an unbreakable partnership with Sol Campbell, helping the Invincibles secure the 2003 to 2004 Premier League title without defeat, the first and only English side to finish the entire season without tasting defeat. His 326 appearances for the Gunners earned him a revered status among fans. In 2009, Toure joined Manchester City, where he was reunited with his younger brother, Yaya. Together, they played a pivotal role in City's title triumph in 2012, ending the club's 44-year wait for league glory. Toure's subsequent stints at Liverpool and Celtic further solidified his reputation as a decorated player. He won the Scottish Premiership and Scottish League Cup with Celtic, cementing his status as one of the most successful African players in European football. His work ethic, leadership qualities, and unwavering commitment to the beautiful game should serve as a template for many professional and aspiring footballers.
We take a break, but when we come back, we'll be giving you our This and That feature. Stay tuned.
The National Secretary for the Women's League and Senate, President Honorable M.M. Chinomona, Deputy Secretary, Minister of State for Provincial Affairs for Bulawayo Metropolitan Province, Honorable Judith Ngube, and the entire National Executive of the ZANU-PF Women's League extend heartfelt congratulations to Her Excellency, the First Lady, Amai Dr. Auxilia Mnangagwa, on a remarkable achievement of earning a doctorate, PhD, in Tourism and Hospitality Management. Your Excellency, you are a shining beacon of inspiration for us all. We aspire to follow your exemplary path in academics and philanthropy, promoting love and safeguarding our vulnerable communities and rich cultural heritage. Amai Vevanu, we take pride in your accomplishments. Tinoti Makoro Koto Amhlope.
Hyatt Regency Harare, the Meekles, launched its festive season today. They kicked off the day with Christmas carols performed by Eaglesville High School. Not to worry if you missed out this event, because they have a calendar full of festivities this season.
Zimbabwe is beautiful.
Starting with a set menu dinner, which will run from the 24th of December through to the 26th. This will be followed by their traditional Christmas Day brunch on the 25th of December and a pool barbecue for those of us who prefer a different setup. On the 31st of December, they will have the New Year's Eve dinner, welcoming the new year. And for the very first time in Zimbabwe, they are launching Lazy Breakfast on the 1st of January 2025. Go ahead, tell your friends and loved ones that Hyatt Regency is the place to be this festive season.
Zimbabwe, 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 travel Zimbabwe.
Travel and experience Zimbabwe this festive season. Zimbo.
Life is a precious gift, more precious than silver and gold. Parties and alcohol, with road traffic accidents happening every 15 minutes and at least one person dying every 4 hours in Zimbabwe every day. More die over weekends and public holidays. Take heed. Remember your loved ones. Don't drink and drive this festive season. This message is brought to you by the Traffic Safety Council of Zimbabwe.
An occasion of pride and achievement awaits. This Monday, the 16th of December 2024, the Zimbabwe Prisons and Correctional Service will host a historic recruitment pass-out parade at Ntabazinduna Training School, Matebelele North Province. Family and friends, join us as we celebrate the dedication, discipline and commitment of graduating correctional officers from courses number 154 and 155. Be part of history as His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Zimbabwe, Comrade Dr. Emerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa, presides over this momentous event. Zimbabwe Prisons and Correctional Service for incarceration, rehabilitation, and reintegration of offenders into society.
Welcome back and thank you for staying with us.
Well, indeed, Terry, we have an interesting story tonight. Do you believe in Mukando?
Well, I'll say no. I only trust myself with my money. I've seen so many things going wrong, so no.
So you actually don't?
No, I don't. You?
Well, I experienced it when it was my turn to receive. Apparently, everything was just not there for me, so I did not give it a try.
Of course. Well, we've got people who actually believe in this, and this is our next story. Many people call it Mukando. Some refer to it as a Stockville. So no matter how one views it, it is a social method of saving many times when it comes to women. And in this week's This and That, we take a look at the year-end grocery and property sharing and its benefits to women.
1 mayonnaise, 1 box spaghetti, 1 case Colgate, Sunlight liquid.
The festive season is a time of joy and celebration, but for many women, it may also be a time of stress and financial pressure. With the added expense of groceries, decorations, and gifts, many women end up feeling overwhelmed. However, this may not be the case for vigilant women who had the vision to save money for various needs like groceries, cars, building materials, as well as furniture, amongst other things, at the beginning of the year. The grocery sharing clubs have lessened the pressure and stress of affording Christmas groceries that can shield families from the so-called January disease.
Imali kayigcineki ungathi ngizabe ngithenga ngelanga uyagcina usugijimisela i-ice cream wena ufanele ukuthi uthenge i-sunlight dishwasher kodwa ke nxa usuvele wahlela wabeka izinto zakho kuba lula.
The $600 or the $300 or the $200 a club, already you've got things to do. You've got school fees, you've got that, you've got but if the money has been taken for groceries, you can't go back and retrieve it. So in other ways you have saved. And this grocery now can push you for, some people it pushes them for 8 months actually. Ususevele kunyo ezinye izinto.
Asengena ke ku club building. Thengenile uclub building ngachaya wathi sokufikile ithuba lami ngantshayela ngayithole yami imali ngahamba ngayakha sibili ngiphakamisile yami indlu
madzimai vazive upenyu kuti vazive kuti kunodyiwa kunoitwa sei kana pasina zvese izvi atingararami mukati muupenyu.
The sharing of the resources is not only about reducing stress, but for most women, it is a source of empowerment for the benefit of each individual and their families.
Coming to this group where there are mothers abakhulileyo ukudlula mina that I would look up to, ngizakwanisa lami ukuthi ngiphumele something that izancedisa endlini.
Siyancediseka kulama household lapho esishaya khona izimali sithenga izinto zezindlu, izinto ezinjengembheda, okwekhichi, okusincedisayo njengabo mama, siyachaya okwe-borehole drilling, sincedisana ukugebha imgodi, siyachaya okwama solar system, sincedisana ukufaka isolar njengabo mama. Siphakamisekile kakhulu ngale inhlanganiso.
It can be frustrating as a mother having requests every day, looking for basics. You know, as women, we've got so many people that look up to us. We've got extended families, labo mamazala, silabo, auntie, ogogo. You can always take from that grocery and give them from it. And if you've got events, for example, in a church, you don't have to have an excuse to say, I don't have money, because it's readily available.
Grocery sharing is a trend that has been around for a while and has been a source of sustaining livelihoods while also building stronger and supportive communities. Grace Sibanda, ZBC News, Bulawayo.
Well, it looks like the Stockville does work out for many. Taking us to business news, where booming mining commodity prices on the global market will anchor Zimbabwe's economic growth next year, as projected in next year's national budget.
Next year's 6% economic growth projected by Treasury and the International Monetary Fund (IMF) is said to emanate mainly from mining and agriculture sectors in a strong economic recovery from this year's 2%. Firming commodity prices, especially of gold and platinum group metals, on the back of raging global unrest and political uncertainties will push prices up, providing a huge lifeline to the local economy.
Come 2025, we're looking forward for more light. We're looking forward for the economy to increase through the mining sector. We're going also to be looking at exploration drive. We're going to come up with an intensive exploration drive so that you can quantify and discover more minerals, quantify the reserve that we have and discover more minerals so that you can actually negotiate for new investments over mineral reserves that we know.
Economic analyst Marlon Guadu is upbeat over next year's expected economic performances, bolstered by increased mineral revenues.
As an economy, a commodity-based economy in mining and agriculture, so with the firming up of prices of mineral commodities internationally, is poised to probably rebound our economy towards a growth and more sustainable positions, especially aligning it with the global geopolitical activities around the Middle East, the tensions there too, as well as the realignment of the West in terms of their political orientations, which will probably increase demand for mineral production and thereby increasing the price of commodities.
Meanwhile, a range of measures and incentives announced in the 2025 national budget are all set to boost the manufacturing sector, which will also enhance national economic growth. Owen Mandova, ZBC News, Harare.
Now, I don't know what you were doing in primary school, perhaps changing the world, I'm not quite sure. But in our science and technology feature, a team of young innovators comprising primary school students from Bulawayo has broken new ground after developing a self-irrigating robot called Yaro. Yolanda Moore gives us more.
Yaro, an acronym for Yandile, Naomi and Ropafadzo, grade 5 students from a local school in Bulawayo, is a self-irrigating robot that leverages advanced technology to automate the irrigation process, reducing the need for manual intervention.
We created Yaro because we found that farmers tend to water the plants while not knowing the moisture level of the soil, so they'll be now wasting water while watering their plants. And also at times they tend to forget to water the plants, which also leads to wilting.
At the heart of Yaro lies a sophisticated soil moisture sensing system.
So we have a moisture sensor which goes into the soil to detect the moisture levels. If the moisture levels are low, it sends signal to the red LED light, which starts to buzz, alerting the farmer that Yaro will be now watering the plants. Then the motor lifts up the valve and the plants get watered through our drip irrigation system. Then we also have a pump which goes into the dam, and then it sends water to our center P for therefore watering the other plants. And then when the moisture levels are now accurate, and the moisture sensor sends signal to the red LED light, and then Yaro stops watering the plants, and the farmer knows that the plants are now watered.
The prototype is designed to revolutionize farming practices by automating the irrigation process, thereby optimizing water usage and maximizing crop yields. The GEO notes that this is a game changer as Zimbabwe is on a drive to conserve water.
Yaro is going to help in conserving water. Like for example, last year there wasn't so much rain. So Yaro is going to save water and plants are going to stay hydrated and the moisture level is going to maintain low and good for the plants.
Developed using the Arduino compiler and the C++ programming language, the robot's intelligence lies in its ability to make autonomous decisions based on real-time data.
We uploaded our code on the computer, so we have two functions, void setup and void loop. Void setup makes it run once and void loop makes it run continuously. So we first wrote the code on the computer, then we used our USB cable to upload it from the computer to the chip that is behind Yaro. Then we disconnected the USB cable and the code was now on the Arduino board, so we don't need the computer to help Yaro work.
Yaro was made using readily available materials at the school.
That one is a motor or a water pump or submersible pump that we designed using locally available material. That's a syringe and then an old motor from an old DVD. So the learners assembled everything. We didn't buy anything there.
The school is now looking at commercializing the prototype.
We have engaged several institutions to assist us develop it, to commercialize it. As a school, we are looking at harnessing funds, especially for the less privileged.
Yaro is not just a robot. It is a herald of a new era in agriculture, where technology and human ingenuity work in harmony to cultivate a sustainable future. Yolande Moy, ZBC News, Bulawayo.
5.0, the education bearing its fruit. Taking us to a break, don't go away, stay with us.
With joy, we celebrate your arrival, a journey that NASA knows well, delivering this.
In 2018 kubuyile ve-EU bayikhomane ne-SAT, nga-Sustainable Agricultural Technology. Vanhu valava va yi dyondzisile mhaka World Conference mukundeliwa hi tihomu hi timhisi na tinghala. Ta swi vula ku ya hikwalaho va yi dyondzisile mahlayiselo ya tihomu ta hina ku hi fanele aka swivala swi nga tiya leswi swi vekaka ma-electric fence. Ta swi vula hi kumile ma-opportunities ko tala u kota ku save tihomu ta hina ku loko endla start ma-own programs ta hina ma-own project ta hina ku fana buchari ya ha ri kwalaho ni khensa ngopfu hi mhaka ku village ya hina ya Mihlanguleni so far ya tiva ku a hi fanele ku hlupheka hina tihomu ka swi loko hi ne nhluvuko ndhawini ya hina. We are empowered.
Welcome back. We dive straight into sports buzz. The incoming Zimbabwe Football Association, ZIFA board, has a tough assignment ahead to take Zimbabwe to the next heights in football by tapping into the country's abandoned football talent based in Europe and other continents.
From the days of Peter Ndlovu, who became the first African export and the modern English Premier League era, and former Liverpool goalmender Bruce Grobela, Zimbabwe has always produced exciting football talent. The older generation always reminisce of the dream team under German coach Reinhard Fabisch, which was arguably the best ever Warrior squad. However, about 2 decades later, in the era of another German gaffer, Michael Nies, the best days for Zimbabwean football seem to be knocking on the door yet again if the appropriate steps are taken. While it has always been a dream to have a squad predominantly dominated by players playing at the highest level in Europe, Zimbabwe is now at its peak in terms of football talent, with the likes of Trey Nyoni, Isaac Mabaya, Shumaira Meuka, Leon Chiwome and Michael Ndiweni featuring in England's top-flight senior teams. Although promising to be a powerhouse if the young talent pledges its allegiance to represent Zimbabwe, most of the talent has not been formally approached, although others have highlighted their interest in donning the country's colors.
We used to wish this when it was happening to the West Africans.
maybe North Africans as well, when they had all players with vast experience and also exposure in Europe. So now it's our turn.
A former player Justice Majavi believes these youngsters can agree to play for the Warriors if approached by the football governing body in the country.
So I feel if we build on these young boys, it's an opportunity for the country to improve in terms of football. Whoever is in the office right now, this is the moment we should be engaging all those parents. By the time we play the 2025 AFCON, we should be in a position to bring some of these boys.
And the country has vast amounts of talents in the diaspora, with a number of those players attracting foreign nations and receiving call-ups in the junior ranks. However, they still remain eligible to play for the Warriors. Notably, 18-year-old Panashe Madana has played for the Australian under-20 after impressive performances for Adelaide United's first team. Similar fate with the likes of Nyoni, Chiwome and Mabaya, who have represented England in the junior ranks. Reynold Ngwarati, ZBC News.
Can you believe it?
Still on football, the Zimbabwe Football Association ZIFA affiliate Futsal Zimbabwe is set for a new era after associates and stakeholders nominated a new executive by passing a vote of no confidence on chairman Givmo Chidakwa at a local hotel this Saturday. We get more details in the upcoming report.
The Zimbabwe Football Association, ZIFA, Futsal Zimbabwe leadership and affiliates have nominated Pilani Banda as their new chairperson after a unanimous agreement to pass a vote of no confidence on Givmo Chidakwa. In the midst of discussions, questions on legitimacy were brought up, with the executive agreeing with affiliates to usher in new leadership following concerns on Chidakwa's competency and eligibility to run five-a-side soccer.
The Secretary General called for a meeting, an extraordinary meeting, to discuss one item on the agenda, which is that the passing of a vote of no confidence on the so-called leadership of Mr. Givmo Chidakwa. Mr. Chidakwa has been leading futsal since 2018.
The affiliates also spoke on the importance of active leadership.
As the Southern region, we have the meeting on Thursday in connection with the leadership of FRUSA, which means Chidakwa was in the office for the past years, as from 2018, if I'm not mistaken, up to now. But it didn't appear on the ground.
We are saying that we want leaders that are always on the ground. We want leaders that contribute to the game of futsal. So here we know that Mr. Chidakwa was the one who was leading, but legally we are saying as there is Mr. Banda is the right candidate.
We work with schools to develop our learners, to develop futsal in schools. So we are affected greatly by what happens at the national level.
The decisive move is expected to usher Futsal Zimbabwe back to its former glory after losing its grip in the build-up to the COVID-19 era. Reynold Ngwarati, ZBC News, Harare.
The Eastern Region Soccer League held its 2024 annual award ceremony this weekend, where outstanding players, coaches and referees for the just-ended soccer season were awarded for their sterling performance.
The Eastern Region Soccer League 2024 awards ceremony, which took place this Saturday at Triangle Country Club, saw players who include Ali Sadiki from Triangle United Football Club, Junior Peter Mushure from FC Wangu Mazodze, and Tawanda Chatuluka from FC Hunters, scooping medals for being part of the 11 best players of the past season.
What my target for 2025 soccer season is to survive relegation, and I know it's also the target for the club. I might have another target as an individual coach, but generally I can say we want to survive relegation.
I want to thank God for this, and I think it's a motivation for my youngsters. Someone like me achieving this award.
a motivation again to my age mates.
ZIFA Eastern Region Chairperson Mr. Davison Muchena said they are targeting to promote more teams into the top tier of Zimbabwean football as Triangle United Football Club joins Manica Diamonds, Bikita Minerals and Green Fuel, bringing the total number of teams from the Eastern Region Soccer League to 4.
It was okay. The competition was top class in the Eastern region.
ZIFA Chief Executive Officer Ms. Yvonne Manwa, who was one of the high-profile guests at the event, cited the importance of unity in the development of football in Zimbabwe.
As we move forward, tese tokana kushanda tese pamwe chete kana tikasadaro hazvifambi mushe bhora harisi kuzifa chete kuhead office bhora ndiro riri kuno.
FC Hunters Football Club scooped the Most Improved Team Award, while Sari FC went home with Most Disciplined Team Award. The Golden Boot Winner Award went to Tadiwa Mambudzi of Mutare City after scoring 15 goals in the just-ended season, with Munyaradzi Bakayawo scooping the Referee of the Year award. Gay Matambo, ZBC News, Chiredzi.
48 clubs are fighting for top honours in the two-day National Pool Championships currently being held in Bulawayo.
Previously used as a tournament to mark the commencement of the pool season, the National Pool Championship returned with a bang in Bulawayo with 48 teams in contention for the lucrative 2,000 United States dollar prize money. Zimbabwe Pool Association President Nixon Mashahanya commended clubs for giving it their all in a tournament which affirms the growth of the sport.
Having our National Champions League for 2024, we have had 48 teams from all over the provinces in the country, so they are competing for honours. The top 3 teams from each league are the ones which are participating in the Champions League.
Pool is slowly gaining momentum despite it being viewed as a beer hall sport, and top player Hilary Mukamori believes the future of the sport is bright.
This game is a very good game in terms of developing sport in the country. We are enjoying as players.
The Zimbabwe Pool Association used the National Championships as an opening tournament to mark the opening of the playing season, but the leadership has since changed the format, making it the final and last tournament, marking the end of the season. Defending champions Kulumane are on course to defend their gong as they are part of the last 16. Mtogozi Stube, ZBC News, Bulawayo.
Now, boxing fans in Gwanda were treated to a free professional boxing match as the mining town organized the event to honor its boxing sensation, Monica Mkandla, at this weekend at Pelindaba Stadium.
It was a Friday of fists, jabs and crosses as boxers participated at the annual Mayor's Boxing Tournament in Gwanda. Amateur boxers drawn from different boxing clubs in Bulawayo and Gwanda battled it out. The amateurs' movements and ability to throw punches drew the attention of the South African boxing coach, who says he's impressed by the talent being groomed in the mining town.
Thank you, Gwanda, is supporting me. Nalitanda, and I've still promised Gwanda.
The mining town had an opportunity to watch Monica Mkandla train.
If umntwana efuna ukudlala isoccer, netball, umama-darts or anything, ngicela umntwana alithathe isikhathi senu nimsupport.
The annual Mayor's Boxing Tournament was meant to honor those who excelled, including Monica Mkandla, who won the ABU SADC Bantamweight Championship.
Lingacabanga ukuthi ngilibizele ukuthi sizolauncha i-Mayor's Boxing Tournament only, but I'm bringing in an aspect of unity amongst abantu beGwanda. We need to be united. Kumele sithandaneni for us to succeed.
Monica's triumph has not only showcased the rich talent and potential within our province, but has also opened up new opportunities for our community. This title win has the potential to redefine the perception of Matabeleland South Province and Zimbabwe as a whole.
Gwanda has produced boxing sensations in the mold of Farai Makombe, Monica Mkandla and Lloyd Mjibiliko, among others. Providence Maronelli, ZBC News, Gwanda.
On that note, we take a short break, but when we come back, we'll be giving you the showbiz. Stay tuned.
Get your business ready for the festive season with ZBC. Join us for the ZBC Mega Festive Business Promotion running from the 1st of November of 2024 all the way to January 31 of 2025. Enjoy an incredible cash discount of over 50% across all ZBC platforms. This is your opportunity to make your business shine. So celebrate with ZBC and watch your business thrive by simply booking your spot right now. For more information, call Tandeka on 0719 594 426 or Martha on 0719 593 532 or Precious on 0719 593 510 or email tandeka.mubi@zbc.co.zw. Terms and conditions apply.
Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. We're rounding off the weekend by giving you the showbiz. Now, a number of events were held in and around the capital with hip-hop lovers being treated to a time of their lives on Friday night. Patience Nyagato gives us the details.
Among the events of note in the capital was the Zim Hip Hop Awards held Friday night, where various artists performed, showcasing their rapping prowess.
Those are my town, but never station. I will find up a blue Chico. In one chapter, and Chico.
Joseph the Sax, the In Total Band, and other gospel outfits treated families with an early Christmas gift after putting up a gospel concert in Bari. Car enthusiasts thronged the Prince Edward School, showcasing their wheels and cars at an event aimed at raising awareness on drug and substance abuse this Saturday.
Our main thrust is we say no to drugs. Let's say yes to cars. Cars are equally addictive, but they are not harmful to our health.
Sungura star Alec Macheso proved his kingship performing in Mashingo Friday night.
Another weather report and forecast coming up.
Hello Zimbabwe and welcome to tonight's weather report and forecast. Hope I find you well with a bit of moisture over the western parts of the country because of moisture drifting in from Botswana. Nothing much as of the eastern parts where we're expecting tropical cyclone Chido to be entering into Malawi. But for this afternoon, we're mostly scattered thunder showers in the interior of the country. And this is the current position of tropical cyclone Chido, which has made landfall over Mozambique as of this morning at around 6 a.m. And it's expected to drift into Malawi as we get into the evening hours and fade off as we get into the eastern parts of Zimbabwe, but nothing much in terms of moisture. Our systems to watch are more coming from the ITZZ and the cloud bands that are drifting in from Botswana into the interior of the country. We were expecting heavier falls over the western parts of the country as we get into later parts of this week. But for much of this week, it should be cloudy and mild for much of the night, and should be cloudy again during the day with most of these isolated thunder showers. We were expecting an increased chance as we get into Wednesday and Thursday. Same for Matopo, we were expecting that isolated thunder showers is beginning as early as Monday. Same for Gwanda as well. Lupane also projected to increase as we get into Wednesday with the more cloudy conditions drifting in from the west. Same for Victoria Falls, under cloudy conditions for much of this week. Gweru also has heavier falls as we get into Wednesday, Thursday, with Kwekwe also following suit with cloudy conditions persisting into the weekend. Kadoma also thundery weather as we get into Wednesday and Thursday. So please remember that when thunder rolls, it's best to be indoors. For Chinhoyi, thundery weather as well is projected. Same for Harare, where it begins as early as Tuesday. We're expecting higher falls during much of this week. Same for Kariba, around Wednesday into Thursday, we're expecting more cloudy conditions. Mashingo also for following suit with cloudy conditions for much of this week. Bindura, thundery weather Tuesday and Wednesday, whilst Marondera has a bit of thundery weather as well. And for Nyanga, we're expecting it to be cloudy for much of this week with rain showers spread across much of those eastern parts. That's all from the weather desk. It's back to the news desk.
Well, that's a wrap on the Sunday edition from myself, Liam Bernard Tariro, as well as Peace Face Shomunika. Have a pleasant viewing.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.